All right, welcome to the build.
So there's my Claude, and here's an example you can see. So this is basically the interface that it built. And the whole idea being, as I was saying before, is like you can see this is a visualization of the beads kind of database that's in this project. This is basically an example, so it's sort of doesn't make too much sense, but you can see you've got your inbox here, and I can see my different agents, and I can see all the mail. I can, see that's basically just an alert. I can then broadcast to all of my agents with a priority state and then require them to acknowledge they've received the message, even if they're working. There is this nesting level needs work based on how I want to interface this and integrate it with how Claude develops plans so that those are nested correctly across like epics, tasks, and subtasks. That's okay. And then what I wanted was to try and get it to be a reflection of what you actually see and actually see the progress against each of the tasks by agent type as they're working over the top as you spin them. So if it's like slowing down, you can spin up more agents. If some of them are failing or if they've been running for too long, you can go and interrogate it without having to actually look at each terminal. And then there's also a Kanban view here. And you can't like move those over because they're just basically this. The whole idea of this is that the agents just come in and get stuff. Oh, what happened with that? That's broken then. Shouldn't be happening. The whole idea is that this is like just something that gets picked up and you can just see it happening. And then you can inject tasks as well. I don't necessarily like that idea. I think that should probably happen from the coordinator.
So you can broadcast to all of the agents from here, right? But then to respond to individual, then you go back to whatever session, like in the terminal, or can you respond to them?
That is a great question. I wonder if I can actually do that. No, I think the intent of this, based on my understanding and the package of MCP agent mails, is not really for you. Like, I don't think, not really for you as a person. And this broadcasting is probably, I don't know if Jeffrey Manuel would like that too much. His whole idea of this is just for them to communicate with each other so that they know what they're working on, not really for us. Then there is these two areas, which is projects and plans, right? This isn't as well scoped as I would like, but the whole idea of this is that you could create plans or view plans that have been generated via the CLI with the tasks nested within them. So you can then go and create other plans via an interface. This is actually quite cumbersome and slow. So I actually think probably we should get rid of this and just make it like a CLI, or just like Claude Code, because it's way faster and better for Claude to create the plans. You can see how many agents you have. And then I also integrated wanted to create the concept of you could see the CLI process that they were going through and actually raise that and then spawn new agents with agent kind of profiles. So the harness type and then inject your skill set or develop your skills to enable them into certain agents within the swarm and customize the system prompt. I don't know if that's, And then a memory visual. Cool. This is the CAS component, which is like the memory visualization where you should be able to see stored memories for the project and then retire them or truncate them or get rid of them. This was hard to figure out because it was getting quite large. And also if there was a lot of noise coming in from different ideas. So if you spin up multiple plans, that's an unsolved problem is how do I demarcate? And then this was the final one was the supervisor one, right? Which is what we were talking about before, where there's a LangGraph supervisor and you can then just directly interact with that supervisor from here. That's it, man.
So that's just kind of an ad hoc over the top of everything.
Yeah. Over the top of everything, have some sort of supervisor in the UI that you can just interact with. I kind of wanted that because I kind of wanted to see I like the Deep Agents harness, right? I like that. And I think it's quite an intelligent kind of system, but I think it conflicts with some of the other underlying packages, right? Because you got Beads as the memory manager, but if that guy has its own manager, probably not a great idea. Ooh.
So Tom, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say this isn't perfect. Obviously it's built on a bunch of other stuff, but just the amount of progress you can make on a project in a short amount of time is just so compelling these days. It's so delightful.
All right. Welcome to the build.